Hey everyone, today we're diving into something very serious, something that really affects not just celebrities but all of us in some way. You may have heard the shocking news about Paris Jackson, the daughter of the legendary Michael Jackson, opening up about the damage drugs have caused in her life. Now, this isn't just a story about fame or Hollywood. It's a lesson, a wake-up call for anyone thinking that experimenting with substances is harmless. Paris Jackson has been very honest about her struggles, and it's important we listen because the consequences she shares are real and deeply personal. What we see on the surface, celebrity glamour, fame, can mask a lot of underlying health issues, especially when drugs enter the picture. She's revealing that her body has suffered in ways many of us may not fully understand until we look at the science behind it. Drugs, whether prescription medications taken incorrectly or recreational substances, can have profound effects on the body. The first and most obvious is liver stress. The liver is your body's detox factory. It processes everything you eat, drink, and take into your body. When you overload it with toxins, it can't function properly. Paris admitted to facing serious issues with her overall health, which is a warning for all of us. These toxins don't just leave your body quietly. They create inflammation, fatigue, and even organ damage over time. Another major area affected is mental health. Drugs can change your brain chemistry in a way that leaves lasting impacts on mood, energy, and focus. Paris Jackson discussed moments of extreme anxiety and depression, which are often symptoms of long-term drug use. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, but it's also incredibly delicate. When chemicals flooded in unnatural amounts, it alters neurotransmitters, the chemicals responsible for regulating happiness, motivation, and clarity. This isn't just temporary. It can affect decision-making and overall mental stability for years. Now, let's talk about skin and appearance because the physical manifestations are very real. Drugs can age the body rapidly. They reduce hydration, compromise nutrient absorption, and create oxidative stress, which is essentially internal rusting. Paris noticed visible signs in her skin and hair that she had never seen before: dryness, breakage, and premature aging. This is not vanity, it's a clear biological signal that your body is under attack. But here's the most important thing to understand: it's never too late to reverse some of these effects. Paris Jackson's story is tragic but also hopeful. She's taking steps to heal, to rebuild her health, and to regain control over her life. Nutrition, hydration, proper supplementation, and removing toxins are powerful tools the body can use to recover. Even after years of damage, we're going to break down everything Paris revealed. Explore the hidden damage that drugs can cause to both body and mind, and discuss actionable steps anyone can take to protect themselves. It's not about fear, it's about knowledge, awareness, and making informed choices before it's too late. Continuing from where we left off, let's dig deeper into what Paris Jackson revealed about the real toll drugs have taken on her body and mind. One of the key things she shared is how drugs can disrupt sleep patterns. Sleep isn't just about rest, it's when your body heals, detoxifies, and restores itself. When substances interfere with sleep, the body doesn't get the repair time it needs. Over time, this can lead to chronic fatigue, brain fog, and even weaken your immune system. Paris explained that for years, she struggled with nights of restless sleep, leaving her body constantly in a stressed state. Stress is another huge factor. Drugs elevate cortisol levels, which is your body's primary stress hormone. When cortisol remains high over time, it wreaks havoc. It can cause weight gain, especially around the midsection, lower energy levels, increase blood sugar, and even affect memory. Paris noticed her energy declining and her mood fluctuating in ways she hadn't experienced before, all linked to the chemical imbalances drugs create in the body. We also need to talk about the impact on hormones. Your hormones control everything, from energy and metabolism to mood and reproductive health. Paris revealed that drug use disrupted her natural hormone balance, creating issues that go beyond just feeling off. Low hormones can make you feel tired, anxious, and unmotivated, and in women, this can also affect menstrual cycles and skin health. The long-term effect is that the body's communication system, the delicate balance between organs and cells, starts to break down. Another hidden consequence Paris pointed out is the effect on nutrient absorption. Drugs can damage the gut lining, interfere with enzyme production, and prevent the body from absorbing vitamins and minerals properly. This means that even if you're eating a healthy diet, your body might not be able to utilize those nutrients. This can lead to deficiencies in essential vitamins like B12, magnesium, and vitamin D, all of which are critical for energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Over time, these deficiencies show up as fatigue, brain fog, brittle hair, and a weakened immune system. Mental clarity is another area seriously affected. Paris spoke candidly about periods of extreme confusion and forgetfulness. Drugs affect neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which are critical for mood regulation, motivation, and focus. When these chemicals are out of balance, the brain struggles to function properly. You may notice difficulty concentrating, making decisions, or even enjoying activities you once loved. This is a major warning sign that your brain chemistry is being disrupted. The most inspiring part of Paris Jackson's story is her willingness to take responsibility and take steps to heal. She's starting to focus on natural recovery, clean nutrition, detoxifying her body, reestablishing healthy sleep routines, and rebuilding her mental resilience. This is proof that while drugs can cause significant damage, the body has an incredible ability to heal if given the right support. We're going to examine the emotional consequences and social impact of drug use, including how it affects relationships, self-esteem, and the ability to live a fulfilling life. Paris's story is not just about the physical effects, it's also about the hidden emotional toll and what she's doing to reclaim her happiness and mental health. Now that we've talked about the physical effects of drugs, let's dive into the emotional and social consequences, the side of drug use that often goes unnoticed but can be just as devastating. Paris Jackson opened up about the toll that substances had on her mental and emotional well-being. She described moments of intense isolation, feelings of guilt, shame, and an overwhelming sense of being disconnected from the world. Emotional instability is a major consequence of drug use. When your body and brain chemistry are thrown off balance, it's not just your mood that suffers, it's your ability to cope with life's challenges. Paris revealed that small problems felt enormous, and she struggled with anxiety that sometimes felt paralyzing. This emotional roller coaster affects decision-making, relationships, and even long-term goals. When your emotions are constantly fluctuating, it's difficult to maintain a stable, healthy life. Relationships are often one of the first areas to feel the impact. Drugs can lead to misunderstandings, arguments, and loss of trust. Paris shared that at times she pushed people away, not because she wanted to, but because the substances altered her behavior and perception. Friends, family, and colleagues may try to help, but without acknowledging the root cause, the chemical and emotional impact of drugs, reconciliation can be incredibly difficult. Self-esteem also takes a massive hit. Paris admitted that she often felt unworthy or incapable because the drugs made her feel less than or disconnected from her true self. This is an important point for everyone listening. The substances don't just affect the body. They create a distorted perception of who you are. Over time, you might start to believe the negative thoughts and feelings, reinforcing the cycle of drug use and emotional pain. Another overlooked consequence is the loss of purpose and motivation. Paris explained that during periods of heavy use, she struggled to maintain focus on her passions, her goals, and even daily responsibilities. This lack of drive is a direct result of how drugs alter brain chemistry, particularly the dopamine system, which controls motivation and reward. Without proper dopamine regulation, even simple tasks can feel exhausting or pointless. But here's where the story gets hopeful. Paris is taking active steps to rebuild her life, not just physically but emotionally and socially. She's reconnecting with friends and family, engaging in activities that bring her joy, and rebuilding her sense of self-worth. This part of recovery is just as critical as detoxing the body. It's about restoring the emotional and social framework that supports long-term health and happiness. Her story highlights an essential truth: drugs don't just harm the body, they harm your life in every dimension. Emotional stability, social bonds, self-esteem, and motivation all take a hit. Recognizing this early and taking proactive steps to repair both body and mind can prevent years of unnecessary suffering. We'll explore the long-term consequences on the body, including organs, immunity and aging, and what Paris Jackson is doing to help her body recover from the years of damage. Now that we've discussed the emotional and social consequences, let's focus on the long-term physical effects of drug use, effects that Paris Jackson is bravely exposing to the world. This part is crucial because drugs don't just cause short-term problems, they can lead to chronic conditions, organ stress, and accelerated aging. One of the main concerns is the heart and circulatory system. Many substances, even recreational drugs, put enormous strain on the heart. Paris admitted experiencing irregular heartbeats and fatigue, which are signs that her cardiovascular system was under stress. Over time, this can lead to high blood pressure, weakened heart muscles, and an increased risk of heart disease. The body works harder to compensate, which can leave you feeling constantly tired or even lead to serious complications if ignored. The liver is another major organ affected. Drugs force the liver to work overtime to detoxify your body. Paris mentioned that after years of exposure, she could feel the difference in her energy levels and digestion. A stressed liver doesn't just process toxins, it also affects hormone balance, fat metabolism, and even immunity. Over time, this can cause liver inflammation, fatty liver disease, and a slowed ability to recover from other illnesses. The kidneys and urinary system can also take a hit. Drugs and their byproducts are filtered through the kidneys, which can lead to dehydration, imbalanced electrolytes, and even long-term kidney damage if abuse continues. Paris explained that she learned how vital hydration and kidney support are for her overall recovery. things we often overlook when considering health. P. Another long-term effect is on immune function. Drugs suppress the immune system, leaving the body more vulnerable to infections and illnesses. Paris experienced frequent colds and general fatigue, P, which is a warning that the body's defenses were compromised. A weakened immune system makes recovery slower and leaves the body less able to handle stress, illness, or injury. Lastly, drugs accelerate aging. This isn't just about wrinkles or hair damage, though those are visible signs. Internally, oxidative stress caused by drug use damages cells and DNA. Paris revealed changes in her skin, hair, and energy levels that made her realize how much the substances were prematurely aging her body. This accelerated aging can affect all systems: cardiovascular, neurological, digestive, and musculoskeletal, making it feel like the body is breaking down faster than it should. The good news is that recovery is possible even after years of damage. Paris is actively working on healing her body through nutrition, detoxification, and lifestyle changes. She's focusing on foods rich in antioxidants to fight oxidative stress, P, supporting liver and kidney function with hydration and proper nutrients, and rebuilding her immune system naturally. Exercise, sunlight, and sleep are all part of her strategy to restore energy, mental clarity, and physical resilience. Her story is a powerful reminder the body is incredibly resilient. Damage from drugs can be serious, but with the right support, recovery is achievable. It requires commitment, knowledge, and consistency, but the results can be life-changing. In the next part, we'll wrap up by discussing lessons learned from Paris Jackson's journey, practical tips for prevention and recovery, and how anyone can take action before it's too late. We've covered the physical, emotional, and social damage that drugs caused in Paris Jackson's life, and now it's time to pull all of this together and focus on the lessons and steps for recovery. Because her story isn't just cautionary, it's instructive. The first lesson is awareness. Paris Jackson's honesty shows us that even if something seems harmless at first, drugs can quietly harm the body, brain, and emotions over time. Awareness means recognizing the signs early: fatigue, mood swings, digestive issues, poor sleep, and changes in appearance or motivation. These are all signals that your body is under stress. By paying attention to these warning signs, you can take action before the damage becomes severe. The second lesson is taking responsibility. Recovery isn't just about stopping drug use, it's about actively rebuilding your life. Paris is reclaiming her health by focusing on nutrition, hydration, exercise, and sleep. She's also repairing her mental and emotional health by reconnecting with loved ones and setting boundaries to protect herself. This shows that healing is a multi-layered process. It's physical, emotional, and social. Next is the importance of support systems. Paris emphasized the role of trusted friends, family, and professionals in her journey. Having a supportive environment can make the difference between slipping back into old habits and building lasting change. Whether it's a nutritionist, therapist, or just a friend who genuinely cares, having someone to guide you and hold you accountable accelerates recovery. Another critical point is body restoration. The human body is resilient, but it needs the right tools to heal. For Paris, this means detoxifying naturally through clean foods, hydration, and targeted nutrients to support the liver, kidneys, and immune system. Exercise and movement help circulation, strengthen muscles, and improve mood through natural endorphins. Proper sleep allows the body to repair and reset, which is especially critical after prolonged stress from substances. Finally, there's the lesson of hope and resilience. Paris Jackson's story reminds us that it's never too late to take control of your health. Even after years of damage, she's making meaningful changes and regaining her strength, clarity, and purpose. This is encouraging for anyone struggling, not just with drugs, but with any harmful habit or lifestyle choice. Healing is possible if you commit to consistent, informed action. So, what can we take away from Paris Jackson's journey? First, don't ignore the warning signs your body and mind are giving you. Second, take responsibility and make conscious choices for your health. Third, seek support and guidance from people who can help. Fourth, nourish your body with the right foods, hydration, sleep, movement. And finally, never underestimate the power of resilience. The human body and mind can recover far more than you think if given the right environment and care. Paris Jackson's story isn't just shocking, it's enlightening. It's a reminder that the consequences of drug use are real, serious, and multi-dimensional. But it's also a story of hope. Showing that recovery is possible and that with awareness, action, and persistence, anyone can reclaim their health and their life.